Good morning, traders and investors. I'm Joel Elconin, along with my co-host Dennis Dick, also Brent Slava, Jake LaCure, and Joe Young here. On the news desk, Benzinga's pre-market prep brought to you by Options House. It's Thursday, so you know what that means.
Oh,
Fairy
fire time.
tales!
Yep.
Woohoo, fairy!
Joe, what else do we got going on the show
Yeah,
today?
hope everyone brought their appetite today because Fari's going to serve up expensive Chicago soup with this week's stock picks. Also at 9 a.m., we have Chris Temple, the editor and publisher of the Investor Letter. Investor Nation. Yeah, Investor Nation.
I got publisher of the National Investor.
National Investor. See, I pulled a Joel today, got everything all mixed up and jumbled. Apologies, everyone. Chris Temple, editor and publisher of the National Investor.
Okay.
We forgive you, Joe, because you don't make errors very often,
Thank
unlike
you.
Joel.
Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that.
Maybe we could bring Fari in with Chris and see what that dynamic would be.
Could be interesting.
Crickets.
A meeting
Crickets.
of when worlds collide.
Okay, Dennis, S&Ps are now down 20 points from that blow-off top that you were looking at through 1900. Turned around before that level, trading down 375. Already you've taken out the low from yesterday. It was also the intraday low from Monday. So look out below, Dennis. We're going 1874.
The market is worried here right now, and David Tepper is worried here too. Brent, were you getting those comments from Tepper there yesterday?
You talking about at Salt, right?
Yeah.
I was tracking him. I can't remember off the top of my head what he was showing concern about. Will you enlighten me, Dennis?
Well, actually, I was hoping you could
Oh.
enlighten me too.
Oh,
One of
dang
his
it.
statements was, though, that he's nervous about the market. So nervous is never a good thing.
Let me go find some of
And
those.
Go hunt down the actual statements.
'Kay.
That comment, nervous, I think is spooking the market here too, obviously. And the market is down another 4 points here. So obviously the big sell-off yesterday, kind of a little bit of a tell there yesterday with the gold popping early and then the TLT, if you bring up that too, Joel. Whenever that starts to take off, usually it's bad news for the market because the market is getting a bit more defensive.
Wasn't Mish talking about this with Michelle Schneider when we had her on the other day?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. So market getting a little bit nervous. Gold got a little bit of a boost here. We now are over 1,300. So gold making a little bit of a move. Did close over there. Also looking at crude. Crude is down in today's session after a nice 3-day rally. Just alert our traders in the crude market here, 101.74. That took out the low from yesterday by 9 ticks here. So getting a little bit of bounce, but crude still looks like it's heading lower today.
I do got a couple of direct quotes from Tepper. He said, "I'm nervous. I think it's nervous time." He also said, "Don't be too freaking long."
Don't be too freaking long.
That was a
That's
direct
what he
quote.
said?
Direct quote. Yep, he said that on the stage at Salt. I think he was showing some concern related to the European Central Bank. He's saying that the ECB better ease in June, and he thinks that central banks are just sort of being complacent right now.
I think he also said he didn't know about being short too. Didn't he say something about that? He says he didn't know about the shorts, but he didn't want to be too freaking long. I think
Yeah,
that was
he was kind of pointing at more so like capital preservation.
Capital preservation is a good thing here, and obviously when we're up at highs here, it's concerning. I thought we might bump over the 1900 in the futures, but Joel's telling me we already did in the cash anyways, so I wish I actually would have been starting a short stock here. Like I said, my trading portfolio is pretty flat right now. My investment portfolio is as light as it's been in years. I've been kind of lightening up every time I've been playing these pops to fade, and if my individual stocks are popping, I've been fading and lightening up my investment portfolio, and it looks like it's maybe going to be the right call to actually be a little bit lighter here, but I don't know if we're going to go straight down. What do you think, Joel?
Well, do you ever go net short in your investment portfolio?
No, it's my investment portfolio.
Well,
I
if
was
you
doing
want
that.
to,
There's an overall positive skew to the long side, and I'm only 37 years old. I've got that investment portfolio, and I allocate, I move around. I play like an investment advisor, and and basically just different allocations. I have about 65, 70 stocks in that portfolio. It's a very defensive portfolio, though. I definitely focus on yield. I like to get paid to be in the stocks. My biggest holding before was Merck, but I sold a bunch of that like like I said on the show there, back at 58.50 there just the other day, which was a good sell, although Merck did pop up back yesterday. So just about all allocating, but net short in your investment portfolio and net short my trading portfolio all day.
Okay, all right. I was just asking. I mean, if it, if you want
Do
to
you
get
go short in your investment
no,
portfolio?
no, they don't allow you
Does
to.
anybody in the chat go short in their investment portfolio? Well, a lot of people probably have their trading portfolio as their investment portfolio. I have two separate accounts because the trader in me would trade out of my investment portfolio. So I have to stick my investment portfolio in a different account so I don't look at it. I don't even log into it sometimes for weeks. But I kind of know what I have in there. So when I want to get out of something, I get out of something.
Okay,
So.
well, we got some big earnings news at the start of the retail earnings season.
We really do here, Joel. Walmart. Wow, what a disappointment over there. $1.10 versus $1.16 and 114.9 billion versus 116.2 billion. Isn't that number incredible though? $115 billion they sell in the quarter. But regardless here, the stock is down $2.50 because they did miss estimates on both the top and the bottom. Walmart doesn't usually. When's the last time you saw Walmart down $2.50 when you're coming in the pre-market?
Ooh.
Down 215, 224. I don't know. That's a huge move. Also, boy, there is some volume associated with this, Dennis. But let's just take a look at the pre-market chart here. And just moments ago, we've hit 76.20. Now since hitting 76.20, we have gotten a bounce up as high as 76.75. I think those are some early parameters. But Dennis, just think about how much stock needs to trade during the regular session to get Walmart down $2.
It definitely thickens up, and that's one thing we always talk about. Remember, your pre-market trading is often, not the liquidity is just not there that there is in the regular session. 99% of your participants probably don't trade in the pre-market. So when the real liquidity comes in and real people come in at 9:30 and they see Walmart down $2.50, kind of a defensive stock, I can't see them pushing it down $3.50. So this is one I'd actually possibly would be interested in bottom picking on, although it was a disappointing report. I'm looking at that 76 level here, though, Joel. I wonder the first time down there, we did get to 76.20, but if you look around that 76, it's kind of the level it jumps out at you from the last 3-4 months. February, we tried to get up there, couldn't do it. March, we tried to get up, break out over it, just got up to 76.18. Then finally, in mid-March, we finally took it out, came back and retested 76 and it held, and then we had the March up to almost $80. Now here we are coming back to 76 once again. So it's 76.70. It's a little bit higher than I'd like, but if it got back down there in the regular session around 76 or opens around 76, I might try this on the long side for a trade.
Yeah, I think the pre-market low here, 76.05. I was wrong. Yeah, I think that could be. I think it could be. I think if not, it will be defended. You had a series of lows in that area going back to the end of March. I'm looking at 4 or 5 lows just above 76. And then you had that washout to 75, 77. And then it held 76. I just, today, from where it's coming from, the amount of volume, boy, I'd be really surprised if it just, crashed through 76 and went to 75.
Hey,
so that's the number I guess we're giving you on Walmart. 76, it sounds like. Brent, what do you got for me?
I was going to say the last time I'm noting that Walmart was down this much in pre-market was at the very beginning of February, and that was when the company did that Q4 warning. They said they're expecting Q4 EPS around 150 to 160, and they're reporting Q1 of 111 today, so that's pretty sharp decline quarter over quarter. And we had our buddy Brian Sazi making some comments earlier. He was pointing out a couple things. He noted that both Walmart US and Sam's Club same-store sales missed their supposedly quote easy guidance. He also noted that both divisions, when you take out the online sales, had their same-store sales, which were much worse than expected. So a couple of concerning points there from Sazi.
Does Sazi cover Walmart? Like, does he have a rating on it?
I don't know. Let me check real quick.
I remember he was a little bearish last time that we had him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's been a little bearish a lot of the retailers, really. Target's been one of his biggest bearish calls. They're going to report next Wednesday, actually, but Target's been one. There's an interesting play there too. Keep an eye on that Target. If you bring up that chart, look at that $60 level there, Joel. It's got up there 2-3 times. Just can't seem to pierce it. That looks like major resistance up there, and it's going to be down a little bit probably in sympathy here with the Walmart today. It's trading down 30 cents here in the pre-market. I think this is probably going to put a damper on a lot of the retailers today. This Walmart earnings.
Yeah, three highs between 59.71 and 59.86 in the last three sessions. The big drop, they lost the CEO. Boom, you get a little bit of recovery. 60, I agree with you here, Dan. Huge resistance here at 60. You probably have some institutional sellers there as well.
Yeah, I like this from the short side. Anything in the 59s, really. I like this in the short side here today with the Walmart earnings. So. Kohl's also reported there too, Joel. KSS. Actually, Brent, did you see if Sazi does cover it?
I don't see that he has a rating, but I think he has a couple stocks that he doesn't rate, but still comments on.
Well, Kohl's, they were leaning the right way on this one yesterday, Joel. They started selling this right from the get-go, up at $56, and it just cascaded down through the 55 handle, cascaded down through the 54 handle, actually, got as low as 53.83 before settling at 54.03, and then they came out here this morning, 60 cents versus 63 cents, and 4.07 billion versus 4.23 billion, so missed on the top and missed on the bottom. So the people who were selling yesterday, absolutely correct, and the stock is down another $2 here for Kohl's. So here's a stock that went from this huge resistance at 56. If you're shorting off of that, good job there yesterday, and now it's back here all the way to 52, which is kind of a support level, but like I said, these retailers are going to probably be out of favor here for today.
They've taken it out in a very light volume, though, Dennis. They've taken it down to that 52.02 level. You did have a couple areas of support around the $52 level. You had a low just underneath there at 51.88 and 51.94 on February 24th and 25th. So keeping an eye on 52. I mean, what you might have here is a case of this thing was at 56 yesterday. Anybody that was shorting off that level, and now it's at 52. Pretty good, yeah, pretty good windfall. Looking at the support in and around the 52 level, maybe 52 even will not be the low, but you have those lows just below it.
Let's bounce over to Cisco earnings because I need some good news. I'm getting all depressed here with all the market being down, the retailers all being down. Cisco came out last night and they were solid. 51 versus 48, 11.5 billion versus 11.38 billion. The guidance towards the upper end. Conference call, they were saying lots of good stuff there on the conference call. Maybe Brent can go hunt that down. We'll give him a second to hunt down some of the comments there. But stock is trading up over 7% here this morning. This is breaking out to new 52-week highs, I believe, on Cisco, up at 24.5.
Yeah, that's a big move for Cisco, though, huh?
Well, it's not a 52-week high, but new 6-month highs. I was just going back to the weekly chart now. We were higher than that, but this is a big breakout, man, for Cisco. Yeah, it's a huge move. Big volume, too, though.
Well, what are you thinking about this one here? I mean, it's the initial spike took it to 20. Let's see where that initial spike to went here in the pre-market. Initial spike took it to 24.65. Not sure what that dip down to 23.60 was. Maybe that was a bad print or something. But we're just creeping up here towards that 24.65 level. That is blowing away the former high in the move here at 23.57. Cisco has not been up in this quadrant since, 24.80 was the high back in September of 2013. I think that anywhere from 24.60 to 24.80, I think that's going to be huge resistance, and there's no way it's getting through 25 today.
You go back into May of last year, though. I'm having a little bit of deja vu here. You can look at the chart, and I believe the date, well, I can't find the exact date because I'm on a weekly chart, but it was somewhere in the week of May 17th, and the stock spiked, and that was on earnings there, too. And it spiked, and it pulled back a bit, but then it continued to run. So if you're playing that, 1 year later, we've got this big, spike up here too. As opposed to a lot of these, I like to come in the pops to fade. I don't know how much I'm fading this Cisco. I'm actually going to be looking at this one on pullbacks maybe to be buying this thing just because that's what worked last time a year ago. And what tends to work, in the past often does work in the future there. So I'm not buying it up here at $1.70, but if it's to pull back, say to 24 or something, it might be a buy or a pullbacks on this one as opposed to fading the pops.
Okay, I'm keeping an eye on that pre-market high 24.65, as well as the high at like 928, 929. See where it's trading. A lot of times, it gets to that level and and will hold and then pull back. There has to be some kind of pullback in this with this up a buck 80 or buck 90 at this time. Also, just the opening print wherever this puppy does open. You want if it's going to run to 25, I think it's going to do it pretty quickly. If it opens up 24.50, 24.55, hangs out there, and then takes a quick dip down to 23.40, I think you may want to lock in some profits. A big move for Cisco in the pre-market.